hard because like I feel like once I get a little bit more into the story, I can drill down the actual tropes and the things about them that makes them them. Hello, welcome back to the Writing Apothecary podcast, and today we are going to be looking at Josh, who is the other main character of the book that I'm currently writing, which is book 3 in the Nexus series. I have changed up my space a little bit. I have a little console. Those on audio only will not be able to see it, but I bought a cute little like pegboard thing, which is this little guy, and it currently has my word count on it. So for those who can't see it, I'm currently on 6,003 words. This is purely because I got some writing done at my writing workshop that I did at the Forbidden Chapter a few weeks back. That was such an amazing, amazing workshop. The whole kind of feel was to essentially just give people a little bit of a test of what the Writing Apothecary can do, and how I can help support writers. So we had like a bit of a writing sprint, and we covered character, point of view, and foreshadowing, which was amazing. I had so much fun, and everybody there was so lovely. But I got the idea for the little board from Mel. Thanks, Mel. She does these amazing like little writing updates where she closes her laptop and has her little word count there for what she's done, and I thought it was brilliant. And I'm not very good at editing videos like that, so I thought, well, why not have a little sign like that so that then we can kind of see it go up. I did about 2,400 words at the writing workshop. The way that I kind of like to work is that I use small snippets of time. So I do like 15-minute sprints and write as much as possible. And it was kind of fun to watch people sort of get on that train as well. They were very confused at first. And as you can kind of imagine, they did the first few sprints where they actually were like, holy shit. But they got the hang of it, they got into it, and I think our winner ended up on nearly 3,000 words, which was amazing. So, you know, considering we did, I think it was about 2.5 hours, and we did 15-minute sprints through that, it was brilliant. But let's dive into Josh. So Josh, currently I'm setting, kind of like a bit hesitant to say much about Josh because I didn't know what he was like until I started writing him in the first draft. So I literally had nothing but a blank canvas. He was very much I knew that he was an important character, but wasn't quite sure how. And I guess beyond that, it is really interesting to see. I thought that you froze and I had to fix the camera, so bear with me if the angle is off again, I'm sorry. But Josh is a very interesting character. He has always kind of been there in Destiny's life. He met her in high school. They were fast friends. They became boyfriend, girlfriend very quickly, but not as quickly as I thought. So, and a lot of that kind of plays on what Josh's special thing is. I kind of don't want to give that sort of Easter egg away until I can get a little bit deeper into what we're doing with the book, because Josh is a wild card to me. He is very caring, very kind, but there's this side to him that is also very dark and masochistic and just very brutal. He comes from a really big family system that is very broken. They are all very loyal to their parents, which is bordering on a little bit too much. Like, yeah. But Josh, at the moment, I'm at a bit of a stalemate with Josh because I have always written Josh as Josh Darkley. And it's kind of a bit of a play on his thing. But I also realized, and I don't know if it was an unconscious thing, but I have a tattoo friend who goes by Josh Darkley as his tattoo persona, which is perfect. But I don't think that I could actually have Josh do that. So I'm in the process now of playing around with what Josh's last name will actually be. And he's just very up and down. Like, a lot of this story, when I wrote the first draft, was very heavy with his story, with his plot, because the plot kind of took me by surprise. There's a lot of things that happen. So the cheating trope that happens in this is the catalyst for what actually happens to Josh. So without this cheating situation, Josh's true form would not actually be known. And he would have happily gone on forever to essentially, he would have like happily just gone on forever and not actually come to the surface. But Josh has lived many lives. He, in the book at the current time, this is so hard. Like, I really wish that there was more that I could go into, but so far I haven't had any feedback on how spoilery you guys want to go. So I don't know if I was to then say what he is, if it then takes away from the story. I know that when I do sit down to write the blurb, it will be something that will definitely be across it. But well, it might be, but it might not be. We'll have to find out. But this is the thing, is with this whole journey, is I'm actually going with you. We're going to be doing it together. So right now we are very much, I'm going to just double check because I think I've actually done some extra words, but we are at 6,000 words of draft 2. So essentially we are not even a quarter of the way through. Yeah, look, we're still very much there. My goal is to have 100,000 words. Like, I'm getting distracted from the fact that we're supposed to talk about Josh. It's really hard because Josh, I don't think I liked Josh for very much of what I actually had. He is very like goody two shoes, very doting on Destiny. He does have a lot of, I guess, not magical capabilities, but there is something there, because if he didn't have it, there would be no reason to actually have him as a narrator. So he always had something that was quite magical. As I've written a scene already in this second draft, he surprised me. I didn't realize just how ingrained he actually was into Destiny's life, because he, even though may only be about 26, 27 roughly, he is an old soul. He's been around for some time, and he has, I feel like in many other lifetimes, tried to be with Destiny, which I think is really interesting and really sweet, because as much as Destiny is this pain in the butt older sister of Lucy, she is actually at the core of it a really delicate person. She never was like that until the whole situation where she now is a zombie and she is undead. She was very driven, very hard-headed, kind of walked to the sound of her own drum. Walked to the sound of her drum. Like, she was very much that kind of person that everybody wanted to have in their life, and Josh slid into her life quite easily. He was very much there to ensure that Destiny kind of didn't go off the rails, didn't do too much out of the norm of what she should be doing, but he also is somebody that is quite just. He sees both sides of the story very easily, and even though he was and still is Destiny's partner, he always had a soft spot for Lucy, even though he would never actually show that to Destiny. He's just very honor bound too. So Josh has dark hair. He has. This is the thing. It's so hard because I write them, I see them fully in my head, and then trying to find out what they look like in person is really difficult, because trying to compute that to things that are already out there is so hard. It's why I struggle with trying to find Lucy and Devon and Destiny. Like, Destiny has completely different features to Lucy and Devon. So Devon, obviously they're twins, so they've got the grey eyes, the brown hair, the kind of Mediterranean skin, whereas Destiny has quite fair features. Her hair is a little bit redder versus the brown. She has green eyes. Does she have green eyes? I think she has green eyes. And Josh has, look, I couldn't even tell you what color eyes Josh has. He could have blue, he could have green, he could have brown. I actually know that he doesn't have brown, because from my memory, I think Hunter is the only one with kind of whiskey brown colored eyes. And I did that on purpose because I was a child when I wasn't a child. I was a teenager when this whole concept of this world came up. So I was obsessed with blonde hair, blue eyes. And I always wanted to have blonde hair, blue eyes, even though I was like quite Mediterranean. Got the brown hair, brown eyes. So for me, that was quite like, ooh, this is cool. But it is what it is. So I probably should have checked that before I started this whole thing to find out what his actual eyes are. And I think I probably avoided that because I was like, well, how am I going to do this without spoiling what he actually is? Which is the issue. But we're getting there. So Josh and Destiny, I think in this story, they are already married. I'm deciding whether or not, and by I deciding, really the story is deciding, because I'm a plantser. The story has been written, I don't know whether or not to actually show their wedding. I don't think I actually did in the original draft, purely because I wanted to keep a wedding scene for much later on in the books for Lucy, because, like, come on, like, she is the OG, so I feel like she deserves to have something quite special. Yeah, but there are, I guess, multiple plot points in this. So we have the cheating trope, which is there. I also want to say that we have a little bit more gore in this one. This one's quite dark because Destiny needs that energy to stay alive. Josh is like a never-ending energy battery, essentially. So when she borrows from others, generally she needs to top up a day later. With Josh, it's generally a couple of days later. The whole idea of finding this necromancer, which is both Josh and Destiny's main focus at the first half of the book, or maybe the first quarter of the book, is so that Destiny can live some kind of sense of normalcy and actually be able to not steal energy from others so frequently. Essentially, with a necromancer, she would be able to have she'd be able to have like maybe a month, maybe 2 months without needing to top up, just because of the way that the necromancer's abilities work. So that's kind of where that is at. So Josh is kind of the supporting act for the main thing. Like, he does have his moments. Destiny does do a lot of things that infuriate him, but he does at the end of it rely quite heavily on her and her family, because he doesn't really have that family support here. His family are elsewhere. They are in another continent. So it's literally just been him. Let's try this again. My husband just burped, and it also he walked in and out. Anyway, my phone keeps telling me that I have no storage, which is great. I just need to finish this episode. Let me finish this episode. I can get it off my phone. But basically, I lost where I was. So it was about Josh. His family is in another continent, so he relies very heavily on Lucy and Devon and their whole family support system, which is cool because he ends up getting a visit from one of his brothers. Yeah, make that make sense. But essentially, Josh is the nice one of the book. He is... it's so hard because I feel like once I get a little bit more into the story, I can drill down the actual tropes and the things about them that makes them them. So bear with me. But I am so grateful for you guys to be along on this journey with me. I'm really sorry if this is a bit disjointed because of where it cut off. Hopefully it is not too bad in post, otherwise I will be back with a voiceover. But yes, I cannot wait to see you in the next fortnight. I will try and do a little bit earlier just because I am essentially... I think it's like a week out from Falling for Fiction. So right now I'm 2 weeks out from Falling for Fiction, which is today. So in 2 weeks' time, which is normally like my the actual filming time, I will probably be there. So I'll definitely try and get them up. But until then, I will chat to you soon.